All right, everyone. So while on the Pat McAfee show, Hulk Hogan talked about the beef he has with Bret Hart. So we're reading here from Inside the Ropes Wrestling. Hulk Hogan opened up about his contentious relationship with Bret Hart. Bret Hart has never been one to hold back on his opinions on fellow stars, and his views on Hulk Hogan are no exception. Hart has called Hogan limited in the ring and expressed his taste for the Hulkster on a number of occasions. Speaking in a recent interview with Pat McAfee on the Pat McAfee show, Hogan spoke about his relationship with Hart, saying that Hitman hates everybody. Here's what Hogan said: "People either like me or they don't. There is no in between. A lot of people think I ran the show or I had the power of the pencil. I've heard Bret Hart say I destroyed his career because I had the pencil. He's hated Vince. He's hated Flair. He's hated Goldberg. He hates everybody. And I don't know where I fall in line there." Continuing, Hogan detailed the last time he and Hart crossed paths before insisting that he'd like to make up with the Hitman. "The last time I saw him, I was in a WWE locker room and I was being called to go to Gorilla. I opened the door and Natty, who I love to death, was standing there with Bret. 'Hey Bret, how you doing?' I shook his hand real quick. I don't think he realized I did it. I was gone before he realized it was me, I think. We haven't talked. I would love to make up. I love Bret to death. I think he's cool as hell. It is what it is with your career. I'll put it to you this way. If you could have done any better, you would have. Everybody makes their own deal. I'm not hating Vince McMahon because he did better than me. I hope to bury the hatchet." So, look, it's tough to argue with the idea that Bret Hart dislikes a lot of people in WWE. Obviously he has dislike for Goldberg and various others, and I also think Hogan kind of glosses over why people within the company dislike him. When you're viewed as the top guy, and I mean, look, someone like the Undertaker, who Undertaker doesn't really hate anybody, he doesn't like Hogan, and the reasons are because when Hogan sees someone being an upstart, he kind of was doing dirty tricks behind the scenes to try to slow them down, or at least that's the perception, right? And I don't know enough about it to say how true or how not true. A lot of these things could be true, a lot of them could not be true, but the fact that there is as much as there is, it shows you that there was at least that perception, right? And so that might be a reason why Bret doesn't like him. But I do think Bret, in general, when it pertains to WCW, just has a strong dislike for everything that happened over there because he views it as, he got screwed in WWE because he went to WCW, and then the greatest era in the history of wrestling took place in WWE during that time, and he was in WCW for it, and they never used him properly. So you can only imagine the type of frustration he feels looking back at that. So thank you all for watching.